and shake it like it owes you money. Yeah, where my money? Where my money at? Where my money? Hello YouTube! In today's video we're going to be doing some finishing touches on this because we are going to be looking to sell it actually. I've got a building I want to build so I can start working inside. You know, wind, dark nights, all that would be gone-ish. So let's get into it. First thing we got to do is make sure this thing is all good and everything is replace this side's valve cover gasket. Remember in the last video, this one had a leak because I didn't have the right side and I had to reuse the old ones. So I got new ones that are the right size. I checked them. Here, check this out. Oh, good tech tip here. Always, before you take them out of the package, any gasket, if you can, or anything, make sure it lines up properly. Because a lot of times if you open this package, they will not take it back. Important life lesson there for anything, even pool filters and stuff like that. Remember folks, all of the torque assists are necessary to remove bolts. With the valve cover torque specs confirmed, it's time to change this valve cover gasket. Okay, next thing we have to take care of is we have to drain the coolant. Well, it's water because I didn't fill it up. I wanted to run a little bit, make sure there are no leaks or anything. It's very tight, very watertight, so I believe it is appropriate to put actual coolant in it. So let's go ahead and open this cap up so we can let her vent. Ew, it's cleaned up. It's a good thing we're flushing this. And then we will go ahead and properly recycle this water back into the water system. I guess we don't need to properly recycle it because there's no coolant in it. Anyways, we're just gonna open it up and let it drain on the ground because it's just water, okay? We got that. Stop that water draining. Now, if you want to be nice to the next guy and you got this style petcock where you can just thread it out all the way, be nice to the next guy. Put some lube on there, you know, a little grease or something. That really make their day. So now we still have the petcock out. The next thing we want to do is grab your garden hose with a trigger and put it in here and start flushing out as much as you can. That way we get this radiator cleaned out, all the debris that's been in it, get her cooling as best we can. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this coolant reservoir and take the hose off of it, take all the bolts and clamps to pull it out, and we're going to wash it out with a garden hose. I'll be back once I have this unbolted. I've got it unbolted. Let's take this hose off. That goes to the radiator and we will rinse this out. But first, let me show you how this actually works. The reservoir. Let me bring you in here. Okay, you have your radiator cap here, and what happens is when this the cap builds pressure, it opens up a little bit. Spring opens, and there's a little orifice right here that goes to this tube, which goes to the reservoir. And when it gets cold, it actually creates a vacuum that will actually, it'll open this diaphragm up around these little orifices here, and it will suck the coolant back in, because when something heats up, fluid expands. When it cools down, it retracts. So it kind of cycles it. This was implemented in the late 60s, early 70s, because back in the day, they would actually just have this tube go to the ground. And not only does it make it so that you don't go low on coolant and burn your motor up quicker, it actually is better for the environment because you're not putting glycol and other chemicals all over the road. You see all this junk in here? Let me look. Yep, see all that? Our goal is to try to get all that rust and crud out of there. So what we do, take our garden hose, bring it around in there, plug the hole, put your cap on, put your cap on, and shake it like it owes you money. Yeah, where my money? Where my money at? Where my money? Let's see what kind of slurry milkshake we get out of here. Oh yeah! That's all rust and stuff because people don't believe in coolant down here in Florida. So I'm going to do this a few more times and I'll be right back. A little bit of elbow grease, some acetone, and it looks a little better. Now it ain't gonna be perfect now. I mean, the thing's 30 years old. I myself, you know, being 30 years old, don't look the best. So, well, here we go. Let's put her in. Got her installed. Got the petcock back in. Now let's go ahead and add the coolant. Now I went with full strength concentrate because there might be some water still in the block. And that'll just mix all around and it'll dilute itself. I might dilute some more. We'll see. Oh yeah, everywhere. That's how you want to do it. Sorry, Greta.
How dare you!
Well, that didn't take much at all. It's going down still. I'd like to pause the video for a second because I realize that the next few seconds are quite embarrassing, but I thought were too damn funny to take out of the video, so just be forewarned. Come on, drink up, little buddy. Come in. I'm burping it. That's how you burp a car. I'm quite embarrassed to say this is the point I realized what I was doing. Get your mind out of the gutter. It ain't like that. Alright, let's start her up, start cycling her. Ooh, get to do a cold start. Hasn't ran in like a week. Let's see. How do you like that? Oh, come on. There you go. Pick up, little buddy. Alright, now that I got it about halfway, I'm going to go get some water, some nice clean water. It has to be really clean, that way you don't get any contaminants in it. And I'll be right back. Nope, nope. Rid of that. Toby. Not appropriate to say anymore. But please do poop it down in the comments. Let me know if that's still appropriate to say. Alright, let's fill up the reservoir. Good enough. Okay, a little unique perspective here, but we're going to replace the button on this seat belt. Now the spring is still in it and it seems to be working pretty good there, so we're just going to put the button on in the kit. I got these off of the Evil Bay. I think Hawks might sell them, I don't know. Anyways, literally all you have to do is line it up to where these two little tabs matches these guys right here, and it should just push right on. Let's see. Just like that. Give her a test, a couple pushes. Beautiful. This is how we do it. I'm sure you guys tuned in for my lovely singing voice. Oh, and one more thing. I want to call my wife out because these were brand new carpets until we were filming that beach scene. And she decided not to wipe her feet off properly. So I guess they'll permanently be sand in here. I told her I was going to call her out, the Pickingilla, but yeah, I don't like sand.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
In cars. So that's all for this day's working. The video's not over, but with the wind going, doing what it's doing, can't really paint. That's the next step I want to take this half up and paint it black.
Silver.
Kind of to protect the paint, the body I should say, not the paint, but you really should not leave a car primed, because primer, okay now, because primer actually absorbs water and retains it. So it actually can cause rust problems if you leave just a car primer. So even if it's just rattle can from Walmart, you know, $1.25, however much it is with inflation in this economy. Anyways, just seal it up. That's what I'm gonna do. So when I get a day that's calm, I'll be back. So the next thing we're gonna do is take these wheels and clean them up and paint them back the original gold color that they're supposed to be. So our goal is to turn this into this. Check out my Instagram down below to see more pictures of the wheel, link in the description. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is steal the Ajax from the kitchen and get you want to get the green scratcher that's been used on the dishes so it's nice and soft. That way it doesn't scratch up the wheel. I find it works best. Anyway, so let's go ahead and wash this thing down as best we can, and we'll see how it turns out with that. Okay, now we got it all cleaned up and degreased and everything. I'm going to set this out in the sun to dry and do the other one. I didn't feel like adding the music again, so I'll just add a little bit. I don't know how it goes, but here, back to the video. Now I got them clean, I'll be back after I get something to eat. Hopefully it'll be dry by then. And then we can get into masking off and then priming them. Maybe getting some color on them. Depends on how late we get. I'll be back in a few minutes. I got my belly filled. I got her all taped up. These are all dry and ready to go. So let's go ahead and get some primer on here. Ooh, it don't sit there. Let's get some primer on here. Let that bake in, well not bake in, but set and dry a little bit. And then we're gonna hit it with our gold and make them look like they did from the factory.
minutes later.
How's it going? It's been a week or two. Reason being, I had some people come down and I've been busy getting permitting together and other content for you. See this lot behind me? I'm planning on building a building here. And believe it or not, you can actually help me. And all it takes is even just one thing. Clicking that like button down below. The more exposure I get, the more that you guys can actually help me through YouTube. I'm not asking you for money or anything like that. I'm just asking you to click a button. And even subscribing. That helps me even more. Comments, it all helps. I really appreciate you guys and the support you have given me. Thank you very much. But today, I'm going to paint the door cards in the Firebird, because a part of building this building is I need to free up some funds so I can pay for it. So let's get into it and I'll be right back. As you can tell, the door card has seen better days. Looks like someone already tried spraying it and such. So I'm going to work on trying to get it off very carefully here. Gotta somehow get this off without breaking it. And then this is held on by torque spits. So I'm going to put you guys in a time lapse while after I get tools in that, and we're going to take all this stuff off, try to delicately remove the door card, and then we have to take this trim piece off, get that painted black, make it all look nice and pretty, and restore it. And we're back. I have the door card off, and I wanted to show you a couple things before I went ahead and painted it. The first thing is these plastic clips right here. They're only held in by cardboard, and they're old and fragile. You know, being 32 years old and being in the Florida heat all these years, they needed a little help. Best way to do it is there is a tool. I have one. I don't know where it is. So I need more space, and while I'm building a garage so I can organize everything, that's beside the point. Is basically it goes under here and then it is on an angle so you can pop these out. If you don't have that, you can use a pair of wire cutters if you're careful. Just don't squeeze too hard. Get in there and pry up against the body of it. They'll pop right out. And yeah, I only had 2 fail, so that's pretty good. I have a couple that I bought from the auto parts store. It is a common stock part because they do constantly break. The other thing is I have to, well, remove the speaker, the little tweeter, and this trim right here. And to do that, if I can get turned around, sheesh, it's these little clips, speech impediment, these little clips need bent straight up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to try it with this first. I've done it before. I forget what tool I used and what was successful, but I'll figure it out. Okay, I got all the clips up. Now you got to be very careful because these will cut you up good. And if my in-law side of the family is watching, I hope that made you laugh. Anyways, with those pins straight up and down, you can lift this right off of there. It just comes right off. Be careful not to kink it. Just go moderately slow. You don't have to go a turtle's pace. And we'll set that to the side and we're going to paint that black. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. If my younger viewers don't know that song, you may have been conceived to it. Yeah. Should I leave that in? Or is that too far? I'm going to leave it in this time. Tell me in the comments if that's too far. I need to feel out my audience, you know, figure out what they like. Come on, airplane. Come on. Anyways, next thing we need to do is wash what we can. This vinyl mainly. You're not going to do it right on the cloth, but take some. I use acetone. That's why I found works the best. Rubbing alcohol can work in a pinch, but it doesn't seem to remove everything 100% like acetone does. So, got your acetone on your rag. You want to take a big, deep whiff of it? No, don't do that. That's just a joke. And you just basically wipe her down. You want to clean her up. Get off as much dirt and debris as you can. Makes the paint stick better. I bet this would look really funny sped up. Let's rewind it and do that. Was it funny? I bet it was. I'll find out when I edit it. Oh, there goes the speaker. Anyways, I will run it across it. You know what? I'm feeling spicy. There we go. Now we got that all cleaned up. Let's grab the armrest I conveniently put right next to it. Give that a good wipe down. The thing about acetone is it dries really quick too, so you have to apply it multiple times to your rag. I think we're going more towards a PG-13, the whole conception thing. I mean, that's what the analytics telling my audience is, so let's go for it. Highly doubt we have any kids watching. If we do, tell your mom I'm sorry. I'll see her tonight. I'm joking. Alright. Get everything nice, clean, put my oil back on it. You're not supposed to do that, so let's just run this rag on a clean spot where I touched. Because the oil in your hands can do something called fish eyes, where it's just like little bubbles in your paint. They look terrible. And don't sweat on the stuff either. So, I'm going to go ahead and grab the spray paint, put my first coat on. Let's do that. Now also, like the coolant reservoir, you want to shake your spray paint like it owes you money. Where's my money? Where's my money? Better cough up my money. Anyways, once you get her all shaken up, you want to do your first couple sprays out in the open. That way you got good paint consistency. Yeah, do it for 5 seconds. That way you don't got air bubbles. It's nice and windy too, so that's pulling right towards the Firebird. Hopefully it's dry by the time the overspray gets over there. Anyways, how you want to do this is just take your spray and do a nice light coat as your first one. You do a light coat so you can see if you have any fish eyes, and it also chemically changes the surface of it. of the thing you're painting. So let's see how this does. And I found that this interior paint dries really quick. So by the time I'm done spraying this piece with a light coat, I could go back to the door card. If my sister's watching, she wanted to learn car parts. Door card. This is called a door card. Such a mean brother. I hope she's watching. I'd be really sad she isn't. Alright, so now this is probably tacked up. Do a little bit deeper of a coat. And it's okay. I've heard some people say you don't want to change direction or all that. Hogwash. Go around the edges, get her good. If you can tell which way the spray pattern is, you're not putting enough paint on it. Change the angle of your can so you get all the nooks and crannies. Not all the nooks and crannies lock. John. You want to get that reference? Comment down below if you do. I'll be really impressed. We can be friends. I'm in an odd mood today, ain't I? And you want to do long patterns. Long spray patterns across the whole piece. When you get to the edge, tail off like that, because you don't want to start or stop on the piece that you're spraying, because you'll create spots. Can't. This thing looks so much better already, doesn't it? As I step in front of the camera. Oh, I'm blocking you. I'm blocking you. Still blocking you kind of, ain't I? Yeah, I got you in that wide shot. And this stuff is kind of tricky because it looks like you got tiger striping and stuff like that, but it's just because it dries so quickly that it looks like you're not putting paint on it. The wind's really helping me now. Calm down. I'm thinking one more coat. We'll do it this way for this coat. And we're done. Now, this vinyl and fabric paint dries really quick, like I said multiple times, or at least once. I don't know, I lost track. Anyways, so I'm going to let this dry for 30 seconds. It'll be you're not gonna smear it or do anything to it in 30 minutes. So I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna paint the black piece. Actually, I forgot about that. So yeah, I got another set of sawhorses. Let me go set that up and I'll be right back. Once again, grab the acetone and we're gonna wipe her down. Grab the paint, light coat. That should be good for now. Let's wait about 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and put the second coat on a little heavier. And that should be good for that. Alright, now I'm going to take a 30-minute break, go get a drink of water, and get this stuff back on. I guarantee it's going to look a heck of a lot better. Oh, one final thing. When you're done painting, hold your can upside down and spray it till it's clear. That way you got the tip all cleaned out. Just a little tip. Tip for your tip. Alrighty, it's been a half an hour. Everything should be dry. Let's check. Oh, I'm just kidding. It's all good. So, let's go ahead and put this stuff back on the car. I guess first we should probably put this trim back on. You know, that probably would help. Line the pins up with the holes. The little baby holes that they were in. Just push them on in. Starting at one end. Work your way on down. Making my way downtown. Should have been a singer.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nah, you guys probably don't like that. Now we got her all lined up, push her all the way in, and then just start one end and fold the tabs on down. Back on down. Let's go put her back on the car. We're back over here at the car, so let's go ahead and hook our speaker back up. Pull that on through. And I did look before I unhooked these. They use the same barrel connector, so a lot of times when you want to do this, you want to put one side female, one side and other side male, so that you can't cross them up. But they did not do that, so I looked beforehand, and they did go stripe, solid. So I guess they did that right, which is good. But just a little tech tip there. Switch them up so the person in the future doesn't mess it up. You don't want to run a speaker backwards. It can damage it and it doesn't sound good. So you just line her up, click her back into place. Then we got to put our what's called back on all of our accessories, like our door handle and our door handle. Never thought of that. Guess they have two handles. Look at the sheer speed of this man, how fast he works. Give this man a like. thing we're going to try to accomplish on the Firebird is I'm going to paint over this primer. Now, the reason being is primer is not good to leave to the elements because it is very porous and it does retain water, which could actually cause the metal underneath to rust. So you don't want to do that, leave it just primer. You always want to throw some kind of paint on it. In this case, I found GM Emerald Metallic Green. It looks similar. I don't know if it is, but it's the closest at the zone that you find auto parts place had. So that's what we're going with. This is just going to be a scuff and spray kind of deal, simply because I don't have a paint booth, and the absolute best place to paint a car is outside in the sun with bugs and leaves and grass and all kinds of stuff. That way it gets into your paint and really bakes in there so that they have to sand down. Now you just have to sand it off and do it again. Like I said, this is just to protect the metal underneath. It's painted. Sorry I forgot to hit record, but I was gonna go with that color, but it didn't match at all. Like, it was god awful. Like, I can't believe that that was the paint in that can did not match the cap at all. Anyways, so I found some old silver, decided to paint it silver. I think it turned out alright, but like I said, it's meant to protect the metal underneath. Whoever buys this car is going to have to paint the whole car anyways, but I think we're done working on it for now. Yeah, I think she's ready to sell. We'll clean her up, get her listed, and if you want, you might actually be able to buy this car. It will be listed on Facebook Marketplace. First come, first serve, obviously, but you've seen me work on it. The kind of work I did mechanically too. It has a brand new transmission and all that, so thing just starts up, drives really nice. But that being said, this first chapter is over, and I think the next thing we're going to work on is this guy over here. Let's do a little work to mojo, a little something on one of our self projects. That's all for this episode of Forsaken Classics. I hope you enjoyed working on the Firebird. It'll be the last video that we do of it. But I'm at the beach and I actually wanted to show you guys something. Look at all the turtle nests down the beach. Isn't that awesome? That we take the time to preserve them and all that, make sure that they have a better chance of hatching. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now I'm going to go enjoy the beach. The like's always appreciated, and a subscription I really appreciate. You have a wonderful day.